Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over the two big OS watches on the market, and that is the LG Urbane and the Apple Watch. So these are probably the best two watches from each respective OS, and today we're just going to really see how they compare and which one is better in which categories, and then find out which one's better overall. So stay tuned for all of these videos and see which one really is the best smartwatch for you. Now the first thing we're going to go over is look and feel. Now first and foremost, the Apple Watch has gotten a lot of talk because of its look and its unique design. This is the 38mm and it does come in a bigger screen size, which is a 42mm. With this comes lots of changeable straps that you can change out from Apple. Basically, they are proprietary straps. However, it does seem that they are going to support third-party straps. However, they have to be specially made for the Apple Watch. It's not like you can go into any watch store and get these. So you are going to have to swap these out just by pushing a button, and then they'll just take out. Now, this is the one that a lot of their marketing campaigns have been using. It's the silver mesh, and quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of it. As a person, when you have hair on your hands, it just can get a little tingly, and something that I've never really cared for. However, again, there are lots of bands you can use for that, but in this particular band, I don't care for. However, it's much better than the cheaper feeling sport model that comes with the just nylon finish style. Now, with the LG Urbane, this is LG's second version of a circular watch, the first one coming from the G Watch R, and it is by far my favorite looking smartwatch to date. I love the way it looks, I love the way it feels. It just is a really great design. In my opinion, this one is exactly what I want in a smartwatch when it comes to look. The leather strap feels really high quality. Underneath, it doesn't irritate at all, and it is a 22mm band, meaning that you can swap it out with any 22mm band. You can go to any watch store and swap out the bands. If you want a metal finish, if you want a leather finish, any kind of finish you want, you can get very easily, and it's a lot more accessible. So which one wins the overall best look and feel between the two? Well, in my opinion, I really have to give it to the LG watch, just simply because of the fact that it looks more like a watch. I love the circular design, and it really just looks to me like a watch. A lot of people actually don't notice that it is a watch for a smartwatch until they see me using it, and they're like, oh wow, I thought that was just a regular watch. And that's, I feel, the best compliment a smartwatch can get, when it looks like a regular watch, but it's something more. And that is just something you can't get with the Apple Watch, I feel, at least at this point, just because of its square design, its very limited Apple Watches faces, which, by the way, Apple is not allowing third parties to make any for, at least not yet. And this brings problematic features such as circular designs in a square watch face. So yes, overall for look and feel, just because of its perfect resemblance of a regular watch, I'm going to give it to the LG Watch Urbane. When it comes to battery life, quite frankly, neither one is ideal for me and what I would expect from a smartwatch. They do both last about a day. The Apple Watch will last a little bit less, whereas the LG will give you a full day of usage. The Apple Watch is going to be a little bit less, but for both devices, it really depends on how you use both of them. I do feel that the power conservation feature that Apple does offer is a good start, but you can tell that it's definitely going to be something that it needs better along the line. And just about an hour of usage, it's already drained down to 89%, whereas the LG, when I took off the same time, it did end up at 97%. So after taking the watches off at the same time, I was using the Apple Watch a little bit more, but you can just see how much more quickly it does drain in comparison. Overall, though, because they're both going to give you about a day battery life, and I was disappointed that I heard the LG one would give me 2 days, I did not find that ever to be the case. It's always been dead at a day. So for that reason, you're both going to get a day battery life with both watches. So we'll call this a draw. Now, when it comes to smartwatches, one thing we always have to take a look at is app support. So with app support, you look at every app the device has available to it and how many you use on a daily basis. Now, overall, between these two, Apple is currently in the lead with overall watch apps. And let me give you a perfect example of ones that I use that are the same but on different phones. For the Apple Watch, I can use the Starbucks app, whereas on the Android Wear, I have to use a third-party app called Coffee Time. Now, this does what I want to in both watches, which is pay for my coffee at Starbucks with my watch. However, the fact that Apple has a actual Starbucks app already at the gate is a huge improvement compared to LG. Really just not there yet with Android Wear in general. So for that reason, with app support, we're going to have to give it to Apple, which has about 3,000 apps already available, whereas Android Wear only has about 1,500. So for this purpose, overall, in terms of apps, you have to give it to the Apple Watch. Now, when it comes to charging these two devices, quite frankly, neither one is ideal, and I don't like either one very much. First of all, the Apple Watch is just a horrible, horrible way of charging. It's a magnetic charger that really I would expect more of Apple, with the fact that it doesn't even give you kind of a charging screen. I wish they would have given that, and when you tap it in, it will have a little lightning bolt and let you know it's charging. But I mean, other than that, the watch will stay as is. I just wish they would have done something different in that aspect. And quite frankly, the magnet's not really that strong in comparison to the LG one. And that's just because it's just clicks and that's about it. So it's nothing to hold it in place really, besides the magnet. Not to mention that, of course, this is a proprietary charger, not even a lightning cable, which means you have to have this cable or buy a new one just if you mess up on this, if you miss out on this charger. With LG, however, it is also a magnet, but it really keeps it in place. You're not going to drop it as easily, just simply because if you're holding it this way, it's not going to move out of place because it has them tucked away. If you hold this way, it can fall, but just the difference is obviously just the fact that this way you can't mess it up. So it's really nice for that holding portion, but here is where it really shines. And that is, it's a micro USB, which does allow the LG watch to actually use any existing charger. So I can take this and charge it in my car very easily, instead of having to take an entirely new cable in my car. These are instances where it's just much better off, and for that reason, charging will be better on the LG Watch Urbane. Now, when it comes to input method, we take a look at the two smartwatches and see just how they accept input. So, meaning, how can I use these two devices? Well, the LG has a really strong advantage over the Apple Watch, and that is that the Apple Watch, you cannot use one-handed. Meaning that I can't just lift it up and say, "Hey Siri," or something like that, and it will launch without me using my other hand. No, I have to use my secondary hand to actually hold it down, and then I can activate Siri, and then it's useful. Before that, though, there's no real way to use it, which can be frustrating. They both, when you raise them up, they both will light up the screen, basing off the wrist gesture feature. But I just like the fact that I can raise my hand and say, "Okay, Google," and this will immediately start. So that is just a feature that I wish Apple would have on theirs. And because of that, the input method alone is definitely going to go to the LG Watch Urbane. Just again, because of the fact that I can use this one one-handed, I cannot use the Apple Watch one-handed. Now, when it comes to calling and texting, this is a little bit different from an input method, simply because although I can use the LG with one hand and use it to call or text message, I can only do that with very limited sources. So for instance, calling, I cannot take a call or receive a call on here at any point. I can answer it, but then it's going to go over to my phone and not on the watch itself. Very poor execution on this. And if I get a text message, if I use Hangouts as my primary text message, then I can reply via voice text. But I cannot reply otherwise. If I had a regular text messaging app, I cannot use this. So this is where the Apple Watch is definitely ahead, meaning that for one, you can pick up a call right here on the watch. It does have a built-in speaker that allows you to use it to pick up a call, and that way you can call people and receive calls, which is a very useful feature and something that I believe that all smartwatches should have, quite frankly. The second great feature about this is that when you have messages, whether on pretty much any app, you can reply to it, either via voice or you have simply laid out text messages such as, hey, I'm busy right now. Simple things like that. You cannot change those, which is not the best, but you can at least use voice to message on, say, the Facebook app or the Twitter app or any of those apps, which is a huge plus. Something that unfortunately Android Wear can still not do. It's very limited in that aspect. Neither one has a keyboard for text messaging, but Apple does have more presets and more easier ways to message on all your social networking besides just a regular text message. So for calls and text messages and messages in general, the Apple Watch definitely takes this category. Now, when it comes to extras, well, herein lies another problem. These two are very similar in terms of extras. Keep in mind that both of these watches, you can play music on, store music on the watch and then play it through either a Bluetooth device, or you can have music, control your music player from your watch on your phone. You have lots of different things which are third-party apps which can be used to control photos and all that stuff as well on your phone, but neither of them have, say, a camera or any other features like that. Both have the ability to do certain connections such as Bluetooth to different devices, but where the newer Android Wear is really coming up is the fact that you can connect to a Wi-Fi connection just on the watch. So if I'm away from my phone, say upstairs, and Bluetooth would have already severed, well, I can still control everything as if I was connected because I have Wi-Fi on this watch. Even if it's a different Wi-Fi connection, I can still use it. This is also good for, say, times at the gym. If the gym does have Wi-Fi, you can use the gym's Wi-Fi and then leave your phone in your locker. So that's another really good feature. But really where the top extra has to go to the LG watch is the fact that the bands are interchangeable with all standard 22 millimeter bands, whereas on the Apple Watch, you do have to get these specialty Apple Watches, which are very limited to say the least right now. So because of that, you're definitely going to get better extras on the LG Urbane instead of the Apple Watch. Now, finally, we come to the last category, which is price point. Now, at price point, you can get both these at $349. However, not this one specifically. Yes, if you get the Apple Watch with a leather band, you're going to be paying over $349. And really, that's what we're measuring here. Which one is giving you the same features for the same price? With this Apple Watch, I believe we paid here at the studio about $700 to $800, around that price range, just to have the metal finish and to have the better glass protection and everything like that. So it really does cost a lot more. And for what? And as we've been comparing these categories, really it doesn't stand out in a lot of features. So for that reason, in terms of best bang for your buck, with having the leather band attached to your watch, you can get the LG Urbane for a cheaper price comparing to the Apple Watch. So for that reason, the LG Urbane will win the price point category. All right, let's tally them up and see who won. It looks like the LG Urbane took look and feel, charging, input method, extras, and price point. Whereas the Apple Watch definitely takes app support and call and text message category. Battery life was tied between the two of them just simply because they both offer a day worth of battery life. So when we tally that all up, we see the LG Urbane does take it. That is correct. The LG watch overall is going to be better overall for the look and feel, the charging ability, the input method, extras, and price point. Now, keep in mind, the Apple Watch definitely took it when it came to app support as well as call and text feature. So if those two categories are more important to you, you want to get the Apple Watch. But otherwise, the LG Urbane is just a better price point and overall a better smartwatch. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did like it, please give a thumbs up down below. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.